On January 21, 2026, the geopolitical landscape shifted as Donald Trump announced a new framework for a deal regarding Greenland. Speaking at the World Economic Forum, Trump stated that this framework has led him to call off planned tariffs on European Union countries. He explicitly promised that the United States would not take Greenland by force, stating, "I won't do that," while simultaneously flexing American military might. In a blunt reminder to European allies, he remarked that, "Without us right now, you'd all be speaking German," a statement intended to defend the U.S. interest in Greenland. While the NATO chief sought to reassure the U.S. president by stating that Europeans would defend the United States if it were attacked, reactions to the Greenland framework have been varied. A Danish member of parliament described the news as a good development, and France signaled that it does not intend to boycott the World Cup over the Greenland situation. However, the rhetoric at the World Economic Forum took a sharper turn when Trump addressed Canada. Taking aim at Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney's speech at the WEF, Trump issued a stern warning, stating, "Canada lives because of the United States, remember that." He went further to suggest that Canada should be grateful for its relationship with its southern neighbor, specifically addressing the Prime Minister with the words, "Remember that, Mark." Alongside these remarks, Trump resumed anti-immigrant rhetoric, claiming that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures. In response to these swipes, Prime Minister Carney gathered his ministers in Quebec City to discuss the implications for the country. This political friction has led to questions regarding whether the CUSMA trade agreement could be impacted by the ongoing tension between the two leaders. The financial world reacted immediately to these developments. Canadian and U.S. markets rose following Trump's decision to change course on Greenland-related tariffs. Despite this market optimism, specific sectors of the Canadian economy remain deeply concerned about trade stability. Canadian farmers are currently calling for more certainty regarding a canola tariff deal, expressing a dire need to see all tariffs removed. Meanwhile, the auto sector is urging a unified Team Canada approach following a trade deal involving Chinese electric vehicles. Industry leaders in the automotive space have characterized the current climate by saying, "We are in the fight of our lives." In the corporate world, the friction is not limited to heads of state. Ryanair's CEO has publicly dismissed Elon Musk's idea of purchasing the airline as their verbal feud continues to escalate. In Ontario, there is a push for industrial growth, with a new report suggesting the province can speed up the critical minerals industry while still maintaining environmental standards. Education and technology are also seeing investments, as Georgian College recently received $1 million to enhance its center for testing and adopting advanced technologies. While international trade dominates the headlines, local issues across Canada highlight a mix of infrastructure challenges and community resilience. In Western Canada, Saskatchewan agriculture is celebrating the return of trade with China. However, the provincial government is currently disputing claims from the opposition regarding declining school staffing levels. In British Columbia, the anti-extortion chief has issued an apology for previously disputing that the province's extortion issues had reached a crisis level. Public safety remains a concern in the region following the killing of a BC academic, which has spurred calls for government action against gender violence, and an earthquake that recently hit near Haida Gwaii. In the prairies, residents of St. Vital are expressing frustration at being responsible for clearing ridges of snow in back lanes. In Regina, as temperatures drop, warming shelters are bracing for a surge in use. Additionally, federal rules against drip pricing are impacting the hospitality sector, specifically pouring cold water on a Saskatoon hotel tax. Moving to central Canada, Ontario and Quebec face a variety of local developments. Montreal's REM transit system has faced scrutiny after recording 17 outages in just 2 months. In Ottawa, the first public information session regarding high-speed rail drew residents with numerous questions and concerns. A Toronto woman is demanding accountability after reporting that her dog was electrocuted while walking downtown. In legal news, an Ontario man accused of impaired driving in a deadly Muskoka crash was recently denied bail. On a lighter note, a winning ticket for a $15 million Lotto Max jackpot was sold in Brant County, and a Holy Grail hockey card has gone up for auction in Ontario. In Atlantic Canada, Stories of community and recovery are emerging. A Nova Scotia woman made headlines for a life-saving organ donation to a friend. Simultaneously, Nova Scotia Power has been working to restore electricity, with fewer than 500 customers remaining off the grid 3 days after a significant storm. Nationwide, several social and safety issues are coming to the forefront. The federal government's gun buyback program has begun, but it has left many local gun owners confused and calling the rollout ridiculous. The retail landscape is also changing as it becomes increasingly hard to be a Toys R Us kid, with more stores continuing to shutter. In the health sector, Health Canada has issued a stern warning to consumers. Do not buy or use unauthorized versions of Ozempic and Mounjaro. Furthermore, a recall has been issued for organic chia seeds sold in several provinces due to potential salmonella contamination. The digital world is seeing its own set of shifts. A surprising challenger to social media addiction has emerged in the form of anti-doom scrolling influencers. Legal battles in the tech world continue as Snapchat settled a case to avoid a social media addiction trial, and a federal court set aside a shutdown order for TikTok Canada. The global environment is a point of concern in recent scientific reports. The United Nations has declared a global state of water bankruptcy as the planet continues to warm. Canadian federal scientists are predicting that this year will rival some of the hottest ever recorded. This climate shift is forcing a re-evaluation of how major events, such as the Winter Olympics and Paralympics, can adapt. In the realm of science and space, technology proved vital when astronauts on the International Space Station reported that an ultrasound machine was critical during a recent medical crisis. Finally, as we look toward the future, lifestyle and consumer trends for 2025 are already taking shape. The search for the perfect holiday gift is on, with lists already circulating for the best Advent calendars in Canada. In the beauty world, there is a growing interest in Korean skincare and budget-friendly dupes for expensive products. In sports, the Canadian Olympic skeleton team has been finalized, featuring 2024 world champion Hallie Clark,